Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I have allowed this to completely dry once again, and I have to say there's a lot about this that I am really digging. So in the last video, I asked myself the question, what should I do with the background? I don't want to leave it like just the page because this is just my Strathmore Mixed Media Art Journal page over here. But I also don't want to introduce too many different colors into the background. So what I decided to do is I am going to pull out my titanium white. Now, I hardly ever use this white. I used to use it a lot many years ago, but once I discovered the cashew chalk paint, I started substituting that for the white because it's just a warmer paint color, and I just really loved that kind of like, it has a bit of a yellowy tint. You can't really tell, but it's very warm as opposed to the titanium white. But I think for this particular spread, I am going to introduce some of this white. And I've mentioned this before when I was working in Connie Solera's Painting the Feminine book. I don't know how she does it, but brings she brings so much interest to the background as well as the foreground. So what I mean by that is she makes the background full of patterns and all sorts of busy stuff. And she also does that with the figures. So I'm just gonna kind of bring her Painting the Feminine book over here. And let me see if I can show you. Okay, so for instance, okay, so if you look at this spread, you can see the three figures. So, I can clearly tell that's a face, and, these are the figures over here. But the background is not flat, not by any stretch of the imagination. Like, she's got this green with the patterns here. She's got like some, blue patterns here and orange. And so the background is very busy, but you can still differentiate the figures from the background. Now, I don't know how to do that. That to me is very difficult to do. And for me, like, I would get overwhelmed because I have to kind of have a flatter background so that the figures can kind of like stand out, and then I can kind of differentiate between the two. But I think I'm going to push myself outside of my comfort zone, and what I'm going to do is I am going to try to bring some patterns into the background. Now I already have this pattern over here, which I really love. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make it like just titanium white. I am putting a little bit of yellow into the mix, and I don't know if that's going to work or if I need to make it more white. Yeah, I think that might not work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to lighten it up here and just kind of like make it more white. Maybe not like fully white, but I'm gonna try to bring some interest to the page here. So see, I do have a little bit of the yellow, but there's also white. So it just has a little bit of interest, I guess. And let's see here. Now, I don't know if I can make it as busy as Connie makes it, and I don't want to copy her or try to, I don't want to replicate what she's doing. I just want to use her work as a like a starting point, like inspiration, I guess. So I'm just gonna lay some of this white down here, right? Like So I don't want to cover up the yellow. Like I don't want to cover up this pattern. But what I'm going to do is, and I don't know if this is going to work at all, but I'm going to try it out. You know, I'm just going to bring some interest to the background here. Now, unfortunately, some of this yellow did get covered up by the white, so I'm going to try to get it back. Now, I'm going to take my my Stabilo pencil, just in graphite, and I'm going to try to make some patterns in the background here. And because it's a Stabilo, I can just like go over top of the wet paint. I don't have to wait for it to dry. And see, I'm just trying to like bring some kind of interest and patterns to the background without getting overwhelmed, I guess. And let me see here. I'm gonna bring some patterns in there as well. Now I do need to add some collage to the mix here because I only have this one piece of collage here and it's looking out of place. Like I try to repeat everything at least 3 times. It doesn't have to be that particular collage, but I do need to bring some collage, and I'm probably going to stick with my collage. Like that's my own personal painting, I guess, from an art journal, from an experimental art journal, I guess. Okay, now what I think I'm going to do is I am going to try to place some collage onto the page here. And like I said, I'm just going to use my own pieces here. And I don't want to introduce like different pieces of collage. I want to stick with you know, this is mine, so I want some continuity on the page. So I'm going to stick to these papers here. Now, I do like that a lot. Actually, I do like that a lot. Oh, see, and this is what I meant when I said in my first video of this series that even though a piece of collage may not work in one spread, it may be just perfect for another spread. So, you know, I just keep all my pieces and then I use them kind of like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, and I kind of try to see, hey, you know, will it fit in the spread? And, you know, you'll be surprised because this is your visual language. Like This is my own artwork in an experimental journal. So it's my own visual language. So there's a good chance that it is going to fit into another spread because, you know, it's just my own stuff. The marks that I like, the colors that I like, the lines, and, you know, everything. So, okay. So I'm going to kind of go like so. And now I need to put this somewhere else, and I don't know where to put it because I don't want to cover up the hair. Like, I kind of like that situation with the polka dots, but I don't know. This might, you know, this might work actually. I don't know. It might be like like an abstract headdress or a piece of jewelry or something. I don't know. Let me see here. And see, that's another great thing about like your collage pieces is you can kind of like go, hey, does that work? No. Does that work there? You know, but I'm actually really drawn to it over there. Strangely enough, I didn't think that was going to work over there because I really like the polka dots in the hair. But, you know, I think that it really kind of fits over there. That's another reason to try out things that we might think, oh, that might not work. But, you know, I put it on there and I was like, hey, I really do like that. Because I remember in the last part, I made the polka dots for the hair and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna keep that to the end. I'm not gonna cover it up, but you know, I really like that over there. And because I'm not like going for any kind of realism, it doesn't have to mean anything. Like it could be, it's just an abstract, you know, spread. So that could just be, it doesn't have to be anything really. But because I want to make sense of it, like my mind wants to make, like put it in something, I think it might be like a, I don't know, like it might be like a little jewelry thing. But I'm really liking that over there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to get out my Stabilo and I'm gonna kind of make some marks. Like I want to bring some interest on to the figure here, so I'm gonna bring some lines and marks here and see I'm mimicking these marks over here and just play, you know. That's a lot of what intuitive painting is to me anyways, is just being really playful and curious and suspending all like all our notions of, well, this should be this and this is a figure, so you know, it should be this color and it should be this whatever, you know. It's just that sense of like going back to beginner's mind, going back to a state of like childlike wonder where anything is possible. Like, yeah, it's a lady, but you know, this lady, she can have the trunk of an elephant, and she can have you know, she can be blue. You know, it's just having that kind of wonder. So what I'm going to do now is let me just kind of add a little bit of this mixture that I have. So because I have the lines here and then here, and I want to kind of, I did bring them into the face over here, but I want to bring them into like the background over here somewhere. Now there's not a lot of layers on this spread, but it looks like there's a lot of layers, but there really isn't. So I don't know if I'm going to do more to it. I feel like I might want to, but then I also feel like I really like this kind of raw look to it. So I'm gonna finish off this video right now, and I will think about it, and maybe there'll be another part or maybe there won't. But if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I hope that this has inspired you to paint intuitively as well, whatever that might mean for you, because this is the way I do it, but it doesn't by any stretch of the imagination mean that, you know, this is the way it should be done or you should do it. It's just a starting off point for you to see how you want to paint intuitively if you're interested in doing that. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.